for cooking the broth, I cook the meat in a separate pan until it starts boiling, and I will show you exactly when I stop cooking it in here. And then I rinse that meat in the fresh water under the sink and move that meat into this pot where it's already clean water that is slowly cooking. So actually when this meat is going to be ready, that water is going to be nice and warm, so I can drop that meat in here. Why I'm doing it? Because the broth, it's more clear when I do this process, and number two, the broth tastes way better in this process. So will mess up your broth. So I'm just going to move this chicken, because on the bottom I have the turkey neck. I have, I think, 3 of them. Also I have a big piece of the beef shank that is already boiled enough. Okay, the rest is going to be left in for a little bit longer. Okay, so every time I do my broth, I always add chicken, beef, and turkey. This gives you the best taste for your broth. My mom, instead of turkey, is putting actually a piece of duck. Not the whole duck, but just a few pieces of a duck, like 2 legs or 2 wings of the duck. I already dropped the beef. Now it goes in the turkey neck or turkey necks. I'm going to pull this one out. I'm going to flip this one on the other side, so both sides get nice and this one out too. I'm going to wash. These 2 are going in here. Now I can pull out the last one and wash it. The last chicken goes in. First of all, I know you're going to be having a question, what if I'm cooking it before I'm dropping it here and I'm going to remove all the taste of the meat? No, you're not. You are just pre-cooking it for a moment and then dropping it after being washed. So all the bad stuff, it boils out and you're removing it with the water. Number 2, when this soup starts boiling, you need to change the temperature to a slow. It needs to simmer. The best and the most clear broth is when you just simmer the soup, when you are not boiling it. So now I'm just going to add the Italian parsley and the dill, and also leek, and that Italian, we call it Italian cabbage, into it. And there's another thing that I drop also right away. This is a piece of a celery root, and I have 2 huge sticks of a celery that I'm going to drop. So in Poland we use a lot of times the celery root. We like the taste, but just remember, guys, do not drop the whole thing into the soup. It's too powerful in the soup. Okay, and now let it wait when it starts boiling and lower the temperature so it starts only simmering, and we're going to keep that for roughly 1.5 hours. There to be one more thing that I add to the soup, and it is not just onion but really nicely fried onion. So this is the pan that I only used for frying onion. It's already really nice heated up, so I'm going to just drop this. There's no grease, just the pan. Here we go. And this is a 1 medium onion. Just cut them in thick slices, just thick slices, and then drop them and fry them on both sides. It needs to be basically burnt. Don't be afraid, it won't give you the burnt taste, but it will give you this nice and sweet taste. By burning the onion, you are pulling out the sweetness from your onion. So just keep it on for a little bit so it starts burning. I can see it's already sweating. So in Poland we used to just put that onion on the fire and burn it on like a gas stove. I don't have a gas stove, so I have to improvise, but I tried the homemade broth with just whole onion without burning it, and with the burnt onion, and it totally tastes better with the burnt onion. Just leave it on until it gets burnt on one side, and then we can flip it on the other side. Nice and darkish, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, the second one, and one more. All right, yep, this is what I'm looking for, those nice darkish circles on. And this is what we are going to drop into our soup. Here we go.
At this point I'm going to add just the salt, and also I am going to add a pepper. I love the fresh cracked pepper because it tastes so much better in any of your dishes than the store-bought crushed pepper. I'm going to add 1 bay leaf and also around 2 bowls of allspice. This is a really good giving a taste to the soup. And another thing I loved in the soup is the spice called lubczyk, or in English is loverage. I'm going to add this description in the below for you guys to buy that on Amazon store.
Ready guys, so the broth is almost ready, so let me add the carrots. I have 4 carrots over here. I do not like to add them too early because I do not like them to mush like the parsnip and celery. I will pull it out, but actually carrots, I like them in my soup. Not too crunchy, but not like mushed soft. Let's cook this for a little bit longer, and it's almost ready. I'm not sure if you can see how nice and clear the broth is. This is what I'm looking for when I'm doing my homemade broth. Basically it's clear. This is why I cook it on a really low temperature, and it should only simmer, and it's cooked for 1 hour and a half. So right now I have a 1 hour done, so a few more minutes and it's going to be ready. So let me check how much more salt I should add and black pepper. Just tiny bit more salt. And just tiny bit more pepper, and that's it. To actually a good broth, you do not need any other spices, and it's so amazing to make your own broth. So one more tip for your homemade broth: You can make a huge pot, then sterilize your jars and put that broth into your jars, or you can put that broth in any containers and freeze it, and you can pull it out whenever you want. A homemade broth. It is amazing to keep it on the side somewhere, just in case you have no time to cook your own broth. At this point, I'm going to pull out the cabbage. We don't need that anymore. Don't toss it, you can eat that, it's going to taste delicious. I'm going to pull out and toss all that greenery, the leek, the celery, so when I pour my soup on, I won't have those green parts floating in my soup. The thing I'm going to pull out is my meat. It's already cooked through and it's hot. Went on the side of my yeah, make sure you do not burn yourself when you're doing that. See that this chicken is cooked very well. So of course I'm not going to toss the chicken. I am going to save it and I'm going to shred it and leave it back to the soup when it's all shredded. Here I have a bone marrow. I am going to actually pull it out gently. It's very soft. I know that people do eat that bone marrow. I am actually going to give this to my dog. She will be crazy over that. A part of it I am going to save for my work. I just want a clear broth. I just want this, but guys, look how clear it is. This is how it should look. You guys could smell that broth. Oh my god, it smells so good. There's going to be one more thing. I have over here 3 potatoes. I cut them in the small cubes. I'm going to drop this in. And we are going to cook them. Okay, and at this point I am not going to check how salty it is or not. I know that the broth is good, but after adding potatoes I would normally add more salt, but when I added the pickles they're going to be salty and I do not want to have too salty soup, so adjust your salt after you have the pickles. And one more thing, do not drop pickles with your uncooked potatoes because they won't cook. So leave those potatoes for 15 minutes and then add pickles, because pickles do not take too much time. They quick to get ready for the soup. So now it's time for the pickles. The only thing is you have to look for the pickles that are in the brine. Remember, pickles in the brine, they look totally different. They are actually fermented pickles in a salt water, so they're not with that vinegar water. Totally different pickles. So just FYI, the best company is any Polish company that has pickles in the brine. So now we have to grate them. So I usually grate them on those big eyes. And also a big tip, there is some liquid in that jar. Do not toss that, because with this liquid we are going to adjust the sour taste in our pickle soup. So now we need to do some workout. So now we are going to fry our pickles on 1 tablespoon of butter. Yes, you heard me good. We are going to fry them. They hold the crunchy in the soup. You're not going to fry them to crispy, but you're going to fry them for some time, and then we're going to add them to our soup. Okay guys, so over here I have some juice. Like you can see, don't toss this juice, but don't add that into your frying pan. Just add that juice and only that juice into the soup. Let's drop them in here. Perfect. Okay, flat them out. And let's leave them for a few minutes on. Flip and see what's going on. Okay, they look good. A little bit longer. I just don't want any liquid over there. So see, there's still some liquid in it, so I just want them to be dry. It's like it's getting ready and dry and getting crispier. Almost ready. So let's drop them in. One more thing, that soup loves a lot of dill, so I'm just going to drop here some more, and I'm going to reserve some for the plate, so it's fresh. Okay, now the final test. Needs more sour and more salt. So first I'm going to add the juice from the jar. There we go. Okay, now let's taste it. Ooh, much better. A little bit more. I'm going to add the whole thing. Right, I'm just going to add a little bit more of the salt. That's, oh my gosh, yep, that's perfect. All right, let's plate and let's eat.
Also guys, this is the actual cucumbers in the brine, and also the other is going to be a package that optionally you can add to enhance the flavor of the soup. Also with that soup you can add a sour cream. I am not adding sour cream because if you are holding that soup for a little bit longer, it will make that soup go bad quickly. So add sour cream to your plate when you are plating the soup. I am a lactose intolerant, so I don't do that, so it's optional for the people.
Soup in. Ooh, it looks so good. And a little bit of the fresh dill. There we go. You wanna make your own broth. It's going to have a lot of shortcuts. It took the longer because I had to make my own broth. So right now it's almost 6 o'clock. So altogether it took me around 2.5 hours to cook. But If you do not have if you don't make home broth, it's going to be faster. If you are vegetarian, you can make a totally your own veggie broth. I already posted that, how to make a quick veggie. I'm going to try to put that link in the description where I make my own quick veggie broth. So if you want to see that one, and let me try. So good. Oh my god, it smells. Oh my god, that is such a warm and comfort food that it's amazing. If you know Polish people, we all love pickle soup. It is so good. Actually, yeah, that soup was requested by my friends from work, so I already have some jars ready over there for them. This is why I cooked so much in there, because of them. Alrighty guys, thank you for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe and press the like button, and I'm just going to go and finish my soup. See you guys next time.